I don't mean to be small, like look at the tiny little things and kind of get into your skin today. But we talk a lot about here about, kind of like the mental state and the mindset needed to build wealth and legacy in the future and not just work to pay bills. And part of that are making the tiny small decisions that we've talked about in previous episodes. And one we're revisiting today, and that is the reusable K-Cup for coffee. Welcome back in, everybody, to the Real Estate Minute Show. I am Jay Lieberman, your host today, as usual, and we're going to talk about K-Cups really quick. So back in, I believe it was episode 161, we talked about the small, tiny habits that we make that turn out to accumulate over time and create wealth. No matter how small they are, it's the mindset of getting into it and not being just a cheapo for the sake of being a cheapskate, but having a mindset that every penny, every nickel, dime, dollar matters to your future, because it does. And one of those that I'm going to bring up again today, because I brought it out before, I did an experiment a while back about, I was tired of paying so much money for these K-Cups for my Keurig machine. It's a little cheaper, obviously, than going to Starbucks, but it's still expensive. Even if you go to Starbucks, it's still expensive, and it's kind of a waste and scourge on the environment. So I bought a reusable K-Cup, and it's a metal K-Cup. It cost me, I believe it was $4. I got a pack of 2 for $4. So very, very cheap. And I've been using them now for about 6 to 8 months or so, still in great shape, easy to clean. And I fill it up with coffee, stick it into the Keurig machine, make a cup of coffee. I usually run it through again to make a second cup of coffee because it just can hold more coffee in it. And I've got my cup of coffee down to 21 cents a cup. Now, I'm a bit of a nutcase about this, so I've been creating a chart essentially on it because it's a mindset. If it applies to coffee K-Cups, it can apply to other, maybe larger or even smaller things, and all of them accumulate to build wealth over time. Here's what I usually pay at Starbucks if I go in for just a grande coffee, black, or I add milk or whatever, $3.45. Okay, that's like, by the way, kind of double of what it used to be back like 4 years ago, but $3.45 is what I pay, okay? With my 21 cents, if I have 2 cups of coffee a day, that's 42 cents a day, right? Let's say I do that 2 cups of coffee 5 days a week. Totally for the week, it's $2.10. It's $8.40 a month. If I do it all year, it's $101 approximately. Now, if I'm ordering at Starbucks, $3.45, remember. If I do that twice a day, obviously easy to add up, $6.90 a day. If I do that 5 days a week, it's $34.50 a week. And if I do it all month, I got to look at it, it's $138 a month. And annually, it's $1,656 a year versus my 101. So my savings by the K-Cup versus Starbucks is $1,555 a year. $1,555 a year by making one minor small change. And it actually opens up more options for you as well. Like I'm buying this special dark roast, low acid coffee that's single sourced from a reputable, humane, that kind of stuff. You can start getting into that stuff. You can actually pay a little bit more for the coffee, get greater stuff than the burnt Starbucks crap, and pay a fraction. So just to put this into light, that's one change, like I said, $1,550. Think if you did that 10 times with 10 different things. Maybe you grew your own pepper plant, which is simple to grow instead of buying peppers at the market. You're going to save yourself probably $10 a week. You start adding that up, it's another $600 a year. You start doing these small incremental habit changes. It doesn't mean you're cheap as hell. It doesn't mean your friends are going to judge you, okay? Because I know that that's a huge fear. Last week on the show, we talked about the fear behind money. And this is building on that, making the smart habits and trying to rid the fear. There's nothing more exciting in my life, and I hope in the future in your life, than saving like $2,800 a year by making one small change. And I have the opportunity to do it 10 more times and save $25,000 a year. And let me put this in perspective and what this means also, because now you could take that money, invest it, and that's a lot of the stuff we talk about here. You can go back in the back library of the show here and look at some ideas and stuff of what to do with that savings. But the $1,555, to put it into perspective, because I'm obviously a real estate broker, and so I'm going to talk about a house and how that equates to a home and your purchase power. That equates to about $27,000 of home you can buy now, more home you can buy, because now you've saved that money. So if you do that, let's say twice, let's say you save $3,000 a year by making 2 small changes, coffee and something else. Now all of a sudden you can afford a home that's about $50,000 more. You might actually be able to get an extra bedroom because of that. That's what I'm talking about. Small changes over time that will save you money and build wealth. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in.